Now for something special, at a time when our politics is full of cultural tension and mafia references, we turn to Francis Ford Coppola, director of the Godfather trilogy, Apocalypse Now, Patton, Peggy Sue Got Married, an Oscar winner 6 times over for directing, screenwriting, and producing. It's an honor to have you here. Robert De Niro is someone that you helped create, the Robert De Niro we know. I want to show you a little bit of Robert De Niro on the current president. Take a look.
He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has. He talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face.
What do you feel about De Niro's advocacy now?
Those are very strong words. I wouldn't use those kind of strong words. I actually went to high school with Donald Trump.
I read that.
I went to New York Military. He was only a 13-year-old. I was a 17-year-old. He's another one who felt The Godfather was, he always would go to me, number one. So I had no anticipation of what he would really be like if he was put in a position of power. Democracy is a more fragile institution, as we have seen in history. It often turns into an empire or a dictatorship.
Do you think it's more fragile right now than it's been in your life?
It seems to be. But, you know, if Donald Trump is going to truly take his position about the climate change, about our wonderful immigrants, the fact that people want to come to America and bring their talents, which we all know is why we are so great, because of the sum total of these various people. We can talk about the individuals. It's still going on. They bring their gifts to America. So immigrants are a plus of our country, not a negative. The president should bring people to make them feel proud that they're Americans and that they're working with one another. So on the 5 big scores that I would give a president, he's failing all of them, it seems.
Do you think people prize respect, which is a cousin of power, more than the other things that we're taught to pursue?
That's a big subject, and I could really do a 5-hour show with you on that. I believe that...
Who will have final cut?
We'll share it.
Okay.
If you go back to Aristotle, he talks about the manipulation of wealth gathering and operating of a household. And he said in the early times of man, wealth gathering was something you did to fulfill a family need. But the concept of wealth and riches became for the first time an element. And ever since that time, societies have operated on the basis that the gathering of great riches would give you advantages over your neighbors, would give you a certain kind of power, and that's the way it went. My theory is that if ever that changed, where production wasn't the most important thing, if that transition happens and we move slightly away from production being the most important thing, and education and freedom and capability being the most important thing, then a lot of bad characteristics of human beings, the selfishness, I have to be better than you, and blah, blah, I think is going to fall away, and the real future, I personally feel, is going to be very positive. And
so you're an optimist right now.
I'm a total, it's going to be the Garden of Eden.
I know your time is valuable, but I would be remiss, given that you're here. We set a wine goblet for you here. These are our favorite beet wine glasses.
But I have to finish while we drink our wine. I think the most important thing I could say about our wine is that if you drink it, you can trust that we drink it, our family drinks it.
You drink it?
We drink it. When I was a kid, I worked for Fred Astaire. And Fred Astaire told me that the worst decision he ever made is when he gave his name to the Fred Astaire dance studio, because he hated the kind of dance they taught. And I never forgot that. And I thought, whatever I do, whether I make wine or I make films or God knows what, I have a hotel, it's really going to be something that we do, our family does.
Francis Ford Coppola, an optimist, schooling us a little bit about the illusions we need. I really appreciate you coming on the beat, sir.
Thanks.
And a little Friday night announcement. You can go to the MSNBCstore.com and get your own B wine glass and try it with whatever wine you want, including the Coppola wine. I want to thank, again, the famous director, Francis Ford Coppola, for this interview airing for the first time, which was previously recorded. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.